My heart pounded in my chest as I approached the eerie, abandoned gas station known as 7-Eleven. It stood there, in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by desolate fields and tall, swaying trees. The air was heavy with an unsettling silence that sent shivers down my spine. Despite the sinking feeling in my gut, I couldn't resist the pull of curiosity, drawing me closer to the ominous structure. The sun had dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the cracked pavement. The fluorescent lights that once illuminated the gas station now flickered faintly, their eerie glow highlighting the broken windows and faded sign. My footsteps echoed through the empty space as I ventured inside, my breath catching at the sight before me. The store was frozen in time, as if the world had suddenly stopped revolving around it. Shelves lined with dusty products, a cash register covered in cobwebs, and a radio playing static filled the air. It was like stepping into a forgotten realm, one where the echoes of the past whispered hauntingly. As I roamed the aisles, unease crept up my spine, and every creak and moan of the building felt like an eerie invitation from something unseen. I stumbled upon a faded journal hidden among the debris, its pages yellowed with age. As I began to read, I learned the dark history of 7-Eleven. Decades ago, the gas station was owned by a reclusive man named Mr. Jenkins. He was known for his eccentric behavior, rarely interacting with anyone who entered his store. Rumors spread like wildfire in the nearby town about strange occurrences at 7-Eleven, odd noises, and mysterious disappearances. As I turned another page, my heart pounded louder in my ears. The journal's author claimed that late one night, they witnessed Mr. Jenkins performing a terrifying ritual in the back room. He chanted in a language that seemed otherworldly, surrounded by peculiar symbols scrawled across the walls. My mind swirled with disbelief and terror, but my curiosity pressed me on. I decided to explore the back room, where the unsettling ritual had allegedly taken place. The air grew colder as I stepped inside, and an overwhelming sense of malevolence filled the air. The symbols on the walls seemed to pulse with an unnatural energy. In the dim light, I saw a figure hunched in the corner, facing away from me. Fear gripped my heart as I whispered, "Hello, is anyone there?" The figure slowly turned, revealing a twisted, contorted face that sent me stumbling backward. It was Mr. Jenkins, or what remained of him. His eyes were hollow, his skin gray and sagging, and he wore a ghastly grin that seemed to stretch impossibly wide. A guttural voice emanated from his twisted form. "You should not have come here."
"This place belongs to me now, and you shall never leave."
I fled in terror, but the malevolent presence pursued me. The store seemed to transform around me, the aisles twisting and rearranging like a nightmarish maze. Panic threatened to engulf me as I frantically searched for an escape. Just when I thought all hope was lost, I stumbled upon an old gasoline pump at the rear of the store. In desperation, I grabbed the pump's nozzle and sprayed it around, creating a barrier of gasoline. I fumbled for a lighter and, with a trembling hand, ignited a flame. The store erupted into an inferno, engulfing everything in its path, including the malevolent presence that had haunted it for so long. As the flames roared, the walls seemed to crack and groan, the building's tortured soul finally finding release. I managed to escape the burning gas station, my heart pounding and my mind filled with the horrors I had witnessed. As I looked back, the once ominous structure was now reduced to ashes, its dark secrets consumed by the flame. To this day, I cannot erase the memory of 7-Eleven nor the malevolent spirit that had haunted it. I often wonder if the flames truly eradicated the evil, or if its dark presence continues to linger, waiting for another unsuspecting soul to stumble upon its cursed ground. Whatever the truth, one thing remains certain. I will never forget the haunting of 7-Eleven. It was a chilly autumn night, and I found myself starting my first graveyard shift at the local 7-Eleven. As the clock struck midnight, the usual hum of fluorescent lights and the distant sound of cars passing by were the only companions I had. Little did I know that this seemingly ordinary night would be one I would never forget. As the hours dragged on, I began to notice strange occurrences around the store. Products on the shelves would shift positions on their own, and faint whispers echoed through the aisles. Chalking it up to exhaustion and my imagination playing tricks on me, I tried to focus on my tasks and ignore the creeping unease. Just as I thought the night couldn't get any weirder, a mysterious figure appeared at the entrance of the store. It was a shadowy silhouette of a person, swaying eerily back and forth as if undecided about entering. Frozen with fear, I called out, "Hello? Can I help you?" No response. The figure simply vanished into thin air, leaving me perplexed and on edge. I convinced myself that it was probably just a tired mind playing tricks, but my heart raced nonetheless. As I continued my duties, a series of chilling events unfolded. Shelves started to shake violently, and a low, guttural growl reverberated throughout the store. Terrified, I decided to call my manager to report the strange happenings. But as I reached for my phone, I noticed it had disappeared. Panicking, I rushed to the store's back room to use the landline. However, when I picked up the receiver, I only heard static on the line. There was no way to call for help, and I felt a cold, sinking feeling of isolation. Trying to keep my composure, I decided to check the surveillance cameras for any clues. To my horror, the screens displayed nothing but darkness, as if the entire store had been engulfed in an inky void. It was as if some malevolent force was intentionally blocking any chance of help or escape. Now trapped and terrified, I could feel an oppressive presence closing in around me. My heart pounded in my chest, and my breath quickened as I tried to make sense of the nightmare I found myself in. Just as I was about to succumb to sheer terror, the lights flickered back to life, revealing a disturbing sight. Shelves were now adorned with grotesque figures, their twisted bodies and hollow eyes leering at me. I felt a cold hand on my shoulder, and I turned around to face the ethereal figure of a young boy. Tears streamed down my face as I realized that I had unknowingly stumbled upon something supernatural, something beyond comprehension. I was trapped in the haunting realm of the 7-Eleven, and there was no escape. The hours stretched on, each minute feeling like an eternity of torment and fear. The malevolent spirits seemed to feed on my terror, growing stronger with every passing moment. As dawn approached, the spirits finally released their grip on me, leaving me shaken and broken. The morning shift workers found me huddled in a corner, my mind fractured by the horrors I had witnessed. To this day, I cannot forget that dreadful night at 7-Eleven. The store holds secrets beyond our reality, a dark and sinister realm where restless spirits reside. I warn anyone who dares to venture into that store during the witching hour. Beware the haunting presence that lurks within the aisles of 7-Eleven,